Live on Monday Night Raw on this Memorial Day, sold out Savannah, Georgia. This is a steel cage match for the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan, the champ, in control of the challenger, Becky Lynch, here tonight. Remember the rules: pinfall, submission, or escape from the cage. Over the top, through the door. Both feet must hit the floor.
Catch you up. Liv tried to quickly go through the door and climbing over top, and since gained quite an advantage over Becky Lynch, beating the hell out.
Liv Morgan said the revenge tour is not quite complete. She has to beat Becky fair and square here tonight. And now mocking the former champion Rhea Ripley. Morgan with a backstage attack, injured Ripley, forced her to vacate the title. Becky Lynch would go on to win in a battle royal. Liv Morgan finishing second in that matchup. And then finally Morgan wrestling the title away from Becky this past Saturday. And now Liv Morgan trying to escape, trying to climb to the top and up and over. And Becky Lynch has to keep her in the cage in order to continue this matchup.
They're dangling. Steel cage dangerous in so many different ways.
Top rope. Now it's Liv again using the cage as a weapon. First steel cage match of her career, and Liv Morgan doing pretty well in there.
Absolutely, she's our champion for a reason. This is a brand new Liv Morgan. This revenge tour has brought out the best version of Liv Morgan in the ring. I'm not saying everything she's doing outside of it's great.
She was a runner-up at the Rumble, runner-up Elimination Chamber, runner-up Battle Royal. Finally got the job done this past Saturday, albeit under the most controversial of circumstances. Lynch now launched out to the apron, in between the ropes and the cage.
Judgment Day's been talking to Liv,
promising that she won't be the title holder that long, as Becky comes down hard on the top rope.
Oh no.
And I think the steel cage, Pat, really helps this new attitude of Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan has done her research on how to utilize a steel cage as a weapon.
Oh, and Becky dropped to the apron.
Watched Phil.
Big smile on the face of the champ Morgan, that sinister smile.
It was like Liv is enjoying the steel cage match, and how could she not?
Driven into the steel cage again, and again by Morgan. And a third time as Liv continues to punish Becky.
Getting bounced off a steel cage. Becky's back's got to be getting brutalized right now.
And it's been a relentless attack by Morgan.
Revenge tour.
Oh, and Becky
moves out of the way. Liv head first.
And now Becky Lynch with a kick, and Becky fighting back. And now another kick to Morgan, driving Liv face first off the cage. And now Becky starts to inflict punishment. Anything goes inside the steel cage, and Becky's letting Liv have it.
Jeez. The champ isn't happy about what happened in Saudi.
And now fighting her way up to the top rope. Morgan back to her feet. Becky Lynch with a missile drop kick.
Former champ.
Crawling to the cover now to win the Women's World title. Liv Morgan gets the shoulder up. Been a rough few days for these women. The big championship match Saturday. Long 15-hour flight back across the Atlantic, and now doing battle here again tonight inside a steel cage.
Match clause. Everything you can handle.
Now Becky Lynch deserved a rematch after what went down on Saturday.
Absolutely.
And went to the leg drop. Liv able to move out of harm's way, and now sending Becky face first into the steel. Liv Morgan trying to turn it around. World title on the line.
Hell yeah.
We are back in our main event live on Monday Night Raw. Steel cage match. Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch inside a steel cage. Pinfall, submission, or escape. Liv Morgan trying to escape and retain the championship here in what's been a very physical battle with Becky Lynch. And Becky trying to make sure she doesn't escape. Going to climb up to the rope as well. Liv up over the top. Trying to get over the top and drop to the floor to retain the championship, but Becky dragging her back into the cage.
She was getting over there, she would have to get down 20 feet to the floor.
First time ever in her career, Liv Morgan's been locked inside a steel cage. Been in a number of Elimination Chamber matches, but Not in a one-on-one steel cage match like this one against Becky for the championship. Becky Lynch! That suplex off the top rope. Morgan's in trouble now. Becky Lynch trying to crawl to the cover and win back the world title, which she lost in controversial fashion on Saturday, and Morgan kicks out again. It was a fisherman suplex from the top rope there by Becky.
Here we go.
Critical moment of the matchup, both women down.
Little gut check time here. Who wants the title?
Becky, a 7-time world champion. Looking for the disarmer. Submission move on Morgan, who drives her into the steel cage. Morgan. Oh, and there's the code breaker to Lynch. And now Liv Morgan with an opportunity. Cover now to win. Hooks the leg. Shoulders down, and Becky again kicks it too. And now Liv a bit frustrated.
She hit the code breaker clean. This late into the match, she had to think it was over.
Sold out crowd tonight, Savannah, Georgia, Monday Night Raw. Main event for the women's world title. Morgan and Lynch. And Liv Morgan, when she realized she couldn't pin Becky up the code breaker, now trying to win via escape. And she's up to the top. Half her body now over the top of the cage. Becky Lynch gonna meet her there. Both women now fighting on top of the steel cage. Critical moment. One of these women falls to the floor. We got a new champ perhaps if it's Becky or Liv could retain.
Becky climbed that cage like Alec Honnold.
And now Becky up top. Liv Morgan, realizing her title's in trouble, has to grab the leg of Becky and drag her back into the cage.
What agility there from Becky to save this.
Becky trying to hang on. Liv Morgan's got her up top, halfway across the ring and planting her, stacking her up to retain the title. Becky kicks it too.
1 second, you're 20 feet in the sky at the top of the cage. The other, you're getting planted in a power bomb.
Both women have given everything they have in this matchup for the World Championship. 7-time champion Becky Lynch, 2-time champion Liv Morgan. WWE fans showing both these women respect in what's been a tremendous main event tonight. Liv Morgan went for oblivion. Becky Lynch stepped out of harm's way. Now going to put a disarmer in the ropes. No disqualification. Becky can hang on to it as long as she wants. Liv Morgan writhing in pain and driving Becky into the cage.
Smart play by Liv Morgan. How much more can these ladies take?
Morgan now, second rope, trying perhaps to escape again. Becky Lynch is going to meet her there. Now hooks Liv.
Jeez.
And both women down. That cover though, cover by Becky to win and a kick out. Oh no. What is this fool doing out here again? Dominic Mysterio, he's pulled the pin and he's opened the cage door. And he's begging for Becky to get out of the cage.
This top down.
Again, on behalf of Rhea Ripley, trying to make sure Liv Morgan. Morgan, down goes Lynch. Balor and JD out here to tell Dominic to stop this. Liv Morgan now. Liv is trying to drag herself to the door. Meanwhile, Braun Strowman finally realized where JD McDonough is.
He's been looking for him all night.
The monster among monsters. The freight train on the track. In pursuit of Balor and McDonough. Braun Strowman blasting Dominic into the cage. Into the face of Becky Lynch. Dominic got blasted into the cage door. The door bounced off the face of Becky. Becky's down and out.
Becky was about to win this.
Liv Morgan crawling for the cage, crawling for the door. Liv Morgan is going to escape and retain her championship. You gotta be kidding me. neck.